And now and only now, October 13th again, it's Fire Prevention Month, and here to talk about that and other stuff, hard-hitting crime reporter from the Cecil Whig, Carl Hamilton.
Howdy, how you doing?
Great to see you.
Good to see
I
you.
mentioned Fashion Plate.
Yep.
Got that hat thing going on.
Yep.
And I should mention, too, that I had the pleasure of seeing Carl's band Take Two at the Granite Run Tap Room. I think it was Friday night.
Friday night, yep.
Friday night. I'll tell you what, for a three-piece band, you guys put out a lot of really good sound.
Thank you. Thank you.
Variety, different instrumentation, and the singing, everybody sings. It was great.
Yep.
And tunes from A to Z, up and down the calendar.
I've known those guys since elementary school.
Really?
50 years of friendship, over 50 years.
How about that?
Met Burke in first grade in 1966. Perry moved into the area, I think around fifth grade, 1970 or so.
So
we've been friends ever since. They're like my brothers.
You grew up in Cecil County?
Yeah, born and raised.
Where'd you go to high school?
Elkton High School.
EHS.
Class of 78, and that's Burke and Perry and I both, we all graduated in 1978 together.
How about that? So no wonder you guys are so tight.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a band back in high school?
No. We stumbled onto it, we were in our mid-50s. We did a fundraiser at Schaefer's Canal House because they were both in the Cecil County Board of Education.
Right.
And we did a fundraiser for BPAC, like a one-off, because we just sit around and play music together for fun.
Right.
And that somehow snowballed into us becoming a happy hour band.
Right.
So we got equipment, we had to learn how to use it. We had to learn how to end songs because songs kind of just fizzled out more than they ended. And we started to learn how to do a song and perform a song and end a song and sing. Because you don't really think about that when you're just sitting in a basement calling out tunes in a circle.
Right.
So we had to learn a lot about presenting the music publicly.
Well, you did a fine job, and I was really happy. You know, I am a member of the
I was going to say
Rock and Roll Society Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So I know what I'm talking about, Carl.
Right.
And you guys were great.
Because you have a medal.
Yeah. You got the medal.
That is a nice medal.
Yep. We had the ceremony yesterday up in Wilmington. And,
Is that right?
Played again with guys I've been playing with since the 70s. You know?
Okay.
So it's interesting the way musicians know each other for a long time. You have longtime friends. You might not see them for 10, 15 years, and then you pick up again. You know, it's
Right.
like old home week. So, back to Take Two. You're playing somewhere soon, coming up?
We're playing at Dove Valley Winery Sunday, which will be what?
19th.
The 19th.
19th, yeah.
Yeah. And
Cool. That's a great place.
oh yeah, it is. That's a very laid back atmosphere.
And they should have
It's a wonderful place.
Their fire pits going by now, too.
Yeah, and they just had their annual wine stock, the 13th annual wine stock festival, which is kind of recreating Woodstock, centered around wine.
Right.
And they have bands all day long, and close to 1,000 people showed up for that.
Oh, I saw
They do great
the
work.
pictures in the Cecil Whig.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Cecil Whig, you've been a long time fixture with the Cecil Whig. How many years now?
This time around, 28 years. In May was 28 years. And I was at the Whig for 4 years out of University of Maryland from 83 to 87. So combined, 32 years.
And you've covered a lot of different things. A lot of crime, a lot of fires,
Oh, yeah.
and now different stuff, too.
Oh, anything from human interest stories to government, to town reporting. And a small newspaper, you wear many hats.
Right.
Because you don't have that many people. And that's where, a young reporter getting on a small paper, you'll learn about every possible thing you would need to know about reporting.
And Cecil County is relatively a small county, but there's a lot going on.
Oh, always, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And unfortunately, the crime is one of the things that goes on quite a bit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good things in Cecil County as well, though.
Yes, indeed. And, you know, there's a lot of good things about local media, like the Cecil Whig and like Cecil TV.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get that off the rack from CBS and NBC and, you know, Facebook or whatever.
No. The big media is not going to come to Cecil County and report on a proposed tax hike in Northeast or Elkton or things like that. The big media will descend upon Cecil County if it's a sensational murder or something with sizzle like that. But they don't report on the day in, day out stuff that readers need to know about that's happening in their community.
Right.
You know, that affects them directly.
Just like where to get your flu shot or...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Informative news, you know, you're just going to get it like with Cecil TV, the Cecil Whig, because we're, you know, invested. We live here. A lot, you know, we live in the county, and therefore we are kind of connected in that way. We're as interested as the readers because we're impacted by the news.
For sure. And I was
Right.
very interested. In fact, I wish you recently had an article in collaboration from the Fire Marshal's office with Oliver Alkire.
Alkire. Right.
Yeah, and about lithium battery safety focus. And that really gets me because on May 9th, due to a faulty lithium-ion battery in a lawnmower in my garage, my house burnt down.
See, now I did not know that that's what caused it.
Yes.
I had no idea. So that's near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, and I've been out of the house, you know, living in 21904 Port Deposit and discovering Port Deposit and having a wonderful time doing that.
Right.
But, you know, there's no place like home, and it's being rebuilt, and there's a restoration company involved, the insurance company's involved. But it all stems back to the lithium-ion battery, and the company was in there with their investigators, and the fire marshal was in there, and the insurance company, Allstate, was in there.
Right.
So what can you tell our viewers about lithium-ion battery safety?
Well,
Kind of distilling this article in case
right,
people
well,
haven't read it.
we get press releases quite a bit, and that one jumped out at me because, you know, if you have a cell phone, if you have a computer, I didn't know it was something that would affect a lawnmower, but in this day where technology, everybody has it, these lithium-ion batteries are in your home, and they can pose danger. For example, if you're charging your phone and you have it sitting on a pillow or some fabric, they can overheat, and then the fire official lingo, that's known as a combustible.
Right.
And you're not supposed to have your cell phone on a bed or a pillow or something like that when you're charging it. And you shouldn't overcharge it. Like when it hits 100%, you need to unplug it because it can overheat and it can cause a fire.
And that's kind of like when you plug your cell phone in and it's on 87 and you go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, it might hit 100.
Right, and you're asleep.
Right.
Exactly. So, and if you compound the problem by having it on, like I said, a pillow or something, that'll ignite. In 2016, I did a story. A woman had a spare lithium battery in her pocket, along with a cell phone, a set of keys, and I think it was something to do with a vape. The bottom line is, somehow it created a circuit. The keys hit the battery in her pocket.
Right.
And the term was exploded, but it caused a fire in her pocket. And she suffered burns and had to be flown to a hospital. I mean, you know, it wasn't life-threatening, but she had a fire in her pocket because of a lithium battery. And one of the things in that story was that she had bought an inferior quality lithium battery. That there's different ratings. I don't know. I think it's in the article.
Yeah, that's one of the 3 points. Buy safely.
There's, acronyms, I guess you would call it, or whatever. But you should make sure that it's of that standard when you're getting your batteries.
Certified by UL, like Underwriters Lab.
That's it,
Right.
right. So if you get what we would call the Bobo brand or whatever when I was a kid, your sneakers, all Bobo brand sneakers, you need to get the higher quality batteries. And then, like I said, be sure when you're charging them to have it in a safe spot. Don't overcharge it. And when you're done with the battery, don't I'm acting like I'm the fire marshal now, but when you're done with the battery, don't toss it in the garbage.
Right.
You have to take it to where, a recycling center.
That's what it says.
Yeah, right. You can't just toss it in with the garbage because it's not. It's a recyclable item.
And there's a very important point in this article. You probably forgot because you write millions of articles.
And it blurs. After all these years, everything blurs. After a week, it blurs.
Recycling centers like those listed at call number 2 recycle.org. Mm-hmm. So that's how people can do that.
Right. And which I didn't know a lot of this stuff. Like times when I'm writing a story, there are a lot of times where I'm like this press release. I was interesting to me because I'm like, well, everybody's got that stuff.
Sure.
And like I said, with a reporter who's living in a county, you're connected that way. Well, this kind of connected with me because everybody has that. I did not know your fire was lithium.
The charger was in the garage, and the thing of it was, Carl, the charger won't be in the garage. I'll tell you what we're going to do when we get build back better. But the charger was in the garage, and it turned out to be a recall item, which nobody ever notified us.
Oh goodness!
So what I'm going to do is, those wishing wells that people have over their well covers.
Yeah.
I'm going to put one 50 feet away from the house. I just talked to the electrician rebuilding. I'm going to put a GFI box controlled by a switch with a timer on it and run a heavy-duty extension cord out to that wishing well, put a battery station so it's protected from the weather in there.
Away from everything.
A charging station. So if the wishing well wants to go up, that's fine.
Right,
yeah. I mean, that's fine. But I'll put it on a timer.
It's decorative and functional.
And I'll time like how long it takes to charge that battery. Watch it. Come back and like if it takes 2.5 hours to charge it, well, I'll set the timer for 2.5 hours, and I won't have to worry about it.
Right. Then you're right on top of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's all I got. But I'm hoping folks out there in TV land that maybe we can get this Oliver Alkire from the fire marshal's office to give us some more tips, because it is Fire Prevention Month, October, and it's important. You take your smoke detector batteries when we change the clocks coming up, and you put new batteries in there, right?
Right.
I'm
Absolutely.
sure Oliver has all kinds of tips for our viewers out there, because when your house burns down, let me tell you, you don't want to go through that.
He's very knowledgeable. I mean, he knows this stuff. Obviously, he studied this stuff. He lives this stuff day in and day out. He's also a detective. He has a specially trained scent dog that can detect accelerants that arsonists use and stuff like that. He knows this stuff.
Cool.
Far more than I know this stuff. I just write about it. He actually puts the information out that I write about.
But I'll show some pictures of what happened to our house in an upcoming show. So stay tuned. And Carl, let's get back to the music.
Okay.
You write some songs, don't you?
Yeah, I praise and worship kind of songs.
That sounds like holiday season stuff.
Yeah, we could do that.
Our viewers would love to hear that.
We could work something up together, if you would like to do that.
Sure.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
And I'm thinking about doing a song maybe for fire prevention coming up soon too.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And tell me, where'd you get that hat?
You can just show my bald head off. This right here is a Carlos Santana hat, and when you buy one of his hats, it feeds children who they're impoverished children, and the funds go to that.
I'll tell you what.
So
he's the man. One of the best concerts I ever saw. Jazz Fest 1997.
Yep.
Thanks again.
You're welcome. Take care. Thank you.